Hello, guys. Welcome back to Two Halves, Two Innings. What a game today. Guys, I was thinking I'm going to spend whole day today watching cricket, and then Amit said, would the match will finish by 8 p.m.? We thought, yeah, it should finish by 8 p.m. But actually, it's finished by bloody 5 p.m. So there we are, reviewing India's first game at Asia Cup, India versus UAE. I didn't like the match at all, guys. It was so easy. So, Amit, I want to start with you. Do you think India chose to bat field first? It was the right choice.
Well, first of all, I think we need a round of applause. So, can you get your round of applause sound on, Rohit, for India finally winning a toss?
Oh yes.
What? Come on, how can you miss that one? Is after was it?
Ajay's
15?
so
Sorry, I
happy
missed
he's
that
forgot
one.
to
I
join.
really exactly a
Ajay's that
match.
happy that we won a
Yeah.
toss. He's not
Yeah.
even joined us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is he
He's
doing
too
his
busy
own toss?
partying. Yeah.
He's doing.
He's
He's
having a toss
thinking.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, that sounds wrong.
So
So was it
so Amit,
15th
yeah,
15th
yeah,
time of asking? Was it 15th time of
Yeah.
asking, I think?
yeah, something like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what do you think,
So
Amit?
well done, Surya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of we've made a lot of it. The fans, the media made a lot of India um, not winning any tosses, for the past 14 times or so. And when we do win a toss, I believe that we've made the wrong decision. So what was the point? I mean, obviously, we've got to respect the opponent, and I did say yesterday, I think the other day, I was concerned that whether the match would finish in time for us to start our recording, as you said. But I don't know. I mean, when you think about the opposition, obviously India should win the game, but then it's about, well, what are they going to try and achieve from this? Surely it should be kind of looking at areas of where they can look at improving. So do they feel that their bowling was something that they needed to look at more than the batting? I personally think that the batting would be more important because Pakistan's bowlers are
Mhm.
going to be more of a threat. So I think kind of getting familiar with the pitch and the conditions, etc. For me, again, I'm not Suryakumar Yadav, obviously I'm not part of the Indian setup, but as a layman supporter, for me, I think I would have gone with India batting first.
Yeah, I think he got too excited after winning the toss at the
Forgot what to
15th
do.
attempt and he said, yo, what should I do? Okay, let me have a bowl first. So, Dheeraj, what do you think? Should India should have batted first to get more
Yeah,
practice?
I hate to I hate to downplay a win. Look, a win is a win. It's fantastic to see India back in action. It's very rare actually for India to not play a game in over a month. Since the England series finished, it's been over a month. For me, it was the completely wrong decision. It was always going to be a winnable game. India were always massive favourites on paper. But for me, you look at both the bowling and batting. Jasprit Bumrah has only bowled 3 overs. He's coming from a long time off, didn't play the last test. He's coming off a long layoff. I want to try and get 4 overs in his belt before going on to the game on Sunday. And even the batsmen, we've not played again in a month. A lot of the players weren't even part of the test team. Suryakumar Yadav, Abhishek Sharma, a number of others, Tilak Verma, of course. I know he's playing county cricket. But this was a great opportunity for them to get some runs on the board. There's nothing, you can go in the nets tomorrow and bat for 3 hours, absolutely fine. But there was nothing to substitute an actual game. The game intensity, I know the game intensity wasn't, like a normal international game. UAE is still finding their feet and it's a little up and coming side and an emerging side. But for me, bat first, aim to get over 200. As Omid rightly says, Pakistan's bowlers are always a strong point. They're always a team who comes out firing. You want Indian players to have time in the middle. And there is actually a bit of previous here, Omid. There was a Champions Trophy in England a number of years ago. You guys will probably remember it as well, where India's top order were doing absolutely fantastic. They were firing on all guns blazing. Then it got to the latter stage of the competition, and Mohammad Amir has ripped through India's top order. He got Rohit, he
Oh,
got Kohli, he was on
don't,
fire. India's
don't.
batting was
Stop him.
undercooked in
Mute
that
him.
game.
Mute him,
No,
please.
no,
That's one of the
it needs to
five
be said.
five games in
I
my
know
life.
Paddy watches
Stop
his
him.
podcast.
Stop.
It, it needs to be said. A lot of, and I know it look early stages of the tournament. But going into such a big game, we don't need to talk about the political side. We know how much pressure there is going into this game. India needs to make sure their batsmen had a bit of time in the middle. That's the reason, let's be honest. The reason India played UAE today was a bit of a warm up match before the Pakistan game. India haven't treated as a warm-up game. They've walloped them. Okay, confidence will be high, but for me, big mistake not to try and, bat the full 20 overs and try and give a bit more balling to the bowlers as well.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest win by Team India in T20, I think, internationally. So well done to Team India. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but somebody can put in the comments, let us know what we are thinking is right. So, but I think, so I agree a little bit with both of you that we should have batted first to get more practice, because a lot of the players here haven't played at the stadium before. Obviously, most of the team is same as Champions Trophy team, which played Champions Trophy and we won on the same ground. So I'm thinking, did they play some local games, because every state had their local games, T20 games last few weeks. So I don't know if they played in those games and they had experience of playing, had some practice behind them. We don't know, right? So but coming from here, sitting outside, and we all think, basically we wanted India to bat, to have longer game, enjoy ourselves a little bit, see the stroke play, and then go for the win with the bowlers. And then probably, let's see what happens in Pakistan game. Obviously, Pakistan game is going to be tough. I know they're in the form. They just won the try series against UAE and Afghanistan. And but guys, what a performance from Kuldeep again. He might not play the next game. Amit, would you add him for the next game? But before we start that, but let's discuss how well he actually bowled. He took 3 wickets in 1 over, and I think he's on a hat trick, I think.
Oh, I mean, first of all, I've got to address that game that Dheeraj talked about. I still get nightmares about that game. It's Father's Day, I think, and the Father's Day for me was spending the day with my parents and my father and the kids watching that game. And honestly, India got absolutely walloped by Pakistan. Anyway, back to your question, Rohit. My mind's drifting now to that game, and it will keep to. So thank you, Dheeraj, for that.
Sorry about that.
Reminded me on that. Kuldeep, I mean, we've spoken kind of during the test, maybe reviewing the test and previewing the test series, that how highly I think all of us individually and collectively rate Kuldeep. And again, I mentioned, I think I was there in Manchester when he got a hat trick against England back in. I know obviously it's a different country. Amazing. If he doesn't play, what was the point? If they're going to use this as a kind of, I know it wasn't a warm up game, but if India are using this as a warm up game, then they need to be playing the team that they're going to play for ideally their first 11 team that they're going to play against Pakistan, and throughout the rest of the tournament to get that momentum. So if he's going to change it, then what I don't understand what the point was. He got 4 wickets, brilliant. Dubey got 3 wickets as well. So again, a fantastic bowling performance. And the flip side is, if India, talking about kind of your question earlier about if India should have batted first or bowled first, is that knowing that they're trying to wrap Bumrah and Cottonwood, and I appreciate this is only 4 overs, maximum they can bowl compared to like a test match or even a one day. But surely again, that's another reason why to keep kind of Bumrah nice and fresh for the big game on Sunday would have been again a reason why I think India should have batted first.
Yeah, we all think that way, don't we? So, Dheeraj, I want to come to you on playing 11. We all waiting for someone to start. And then the name didn't appear on the playing 11 list, right? What are your thoughts on why Arshdeep is not playing in this 11?
Well, I think if Ajay's not here because he's happy about the toss, he's definitely not here because he's gutted that Arshdeep wasn't playing. I know we're all big fans of Arshdeep. I don't understand it. I mean, I would have definitely played him. I actually said, in our chat, I was really actually excited about the batting lineup. Massive fan of Abhishek Sharma. Love watching him play. Not just because he's a Sharma, not just because he's from Punjab. I mean, it's not just that. He's a fantastic lefty. But looking at the bowling attack, I did find it very strange. Only Bumrah, no other out and out pacer. I know obviously Dubey and Hardik were there. I did find it strange, I've got to admit, and I definitely think in T20, and I really hope against Pakistan. I'm not going to mention that game, but I mentioned it, and it probably kind of links in well here. The value of having a left arm seamer in white ball cricket. Well, in any form of cricket, actually, is so important. It offers variation. It's something different. Different angles. I think he's a fantastic bowler. He's proved it for many years in the IPL. I personally don't understand it now. Dubé's done well, and Gambhir's got himself a little bit of a headache now because Dubé's done well, Kuldeep's done well. I mean, what does he do now? Does he drop Akshar Patel because he only got the one wicket today? Because I would like to think that against the Pakistan batting lineup, he will go with more than one senior pace bowler. I'd be very surprised. And I don't think it would be the right call actually to just go in with the one. I know the UAE is spin friendly, like a lot of the subcontinent and the Middle East is spin friendly as well. But I definitely think he needs to bring in another pacer. And he's given himself a little bit of a headache. And like, Amit rightly said, if he drops someone, it's going to be what was the point? He's kind of made a rod for his own back now. And I'm
Yeah.
intrigued to get your thoughts as well on it, Rohit, actually, because I know you're a big Arshdeep Singh fan. How do you think and where do you think we go from here now? Does this win actually pose more questions than answers?
Yeah, it did actually. I was thinking now because Kuldeep took 4 wickets and Chakravarti Varun played pretty well as well. He bowled pretty well, and Akshar, as usual, bowled pretty well. So I don't know what kind of wicket they're gonna play on Sunday against Pakistan. And if it's a spinning wicket, I think it will be the same 11. I do think it will be the same 11. They don't want to change the winning combination. But I always believe, Arshdeep is the best white ball bowler at the moment after Bumrah.
Yeah.
He should play that game, right? He should have played today as well, at least to try different combination in the first game, right? So I think he played in Champions Trophy as well, if I'm correct in my understanding, right?
Arshdeep
He
was
played
there.
Champions Trophy, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
he has experience playing in these conditions, especially at UAE, at Dubai. So I don't know, what was the reason of the management of the selectors today? Why they didn't include Arshdeep, I've got no clue. But going forward, I think on Sunday, I think experience gonna matter for me. I will probably take off. See, if I see the team, they want to play 8 batters minimum, right? So if you see that today, Akshar was playing at number 8, and after that were 3 bowlers. So I think my heart says Arshdeep should play, but my mind and looking at what the staff has done previously, selectors have done previously, I think he will sit out next game as well. So coming on to the next game, what a big game is going to be, right? India versus Pakistan. And especially after all the, things happened for last few months, between India and Pakistan, this game, where does this game sit, Amit, at the moment between the fans?
Have 2 A's. Want to train like an elite athlete? Synaptech strobe eyewear sharpens your focus, reaction time, and timing. Essential skills whether you're facing spin or catching it deep. Plus, our sensory station takes cricket-specific vision and decision-making training to a whole new level. Level up your game. Get 10% off Synaptech strobes with code CRICKET at checkout.
I mean, without getting too political, I'm a little bit surprised about the game, only because just a few months ago there was a Legends tournament and India Legends were due to play Pakistan Legends, and India pulled out of that because of for political reasons. Now, I don't think that the relationship between India and Pakistan politically has kind of changed much over the past 2 months. So, as I said, I don't want to get too political because obviously it's a very sensitive topic for both sides. I'm just a little bit surprised that and because the Indian players, well, the retired Indian players were getting a lot of stick for participating in that game, and it was a very light-hearted tournament, so it's not a serious tournament. So, is it that politics only comes into place if it's light-hearted, not a serious competition? So, I mean, we all know, it's the biggest sporting rivalry in any sport in the world. It's the biggest game that gets eyes on the television sets and gets hearts pumping. And although recently, touch wood, it's been very one-sided in terms of India, being very dominant. Still, with a derby, like with any kind of derby in any sport, emotions could take over, and sometimes kind of the critical thinking lapses, and so it's never a given. It's on paper, yes, India should win, but hopefully we will win. but you just don't know how the emotions. And I think that's probably why you're saying about the experience of the team is really crucial. To handle the emotion and the intense pressure from the fans and the world's media and the eyes on this game, especially when you consider politically what's been going on over the past few months as well.
Yeah, indeed. And Dheeraj, what do you think? Who should India be aware of, or wary of, I should say, in Pakistan team?
I think when it comes to Pakistan, I think the balling attack is always something you have to fear. I mean, not here to kind of discredit the batting lineup. The last number of years, they've produced a number of greatest batsmen, of course, as we know, Babar Azam, Rizwan, they've been fantastic players for Pakistan. But just also to follow in from Amit's point, I think there's been a little bit of needle and a little bit of spikes. I don't know if you guys will have saw the press conference, which you probably did the other day, where the Pakistan captain has walked off, and all the captains were shaking hands there, and the Pakistan captain has walked away without shaking hands, and obviously look. If that's what he wants to do, he can do that. He's well within his rights to walk away. I think it does add a little bit of spice. And I've got to say, I am also quite surprised, even this week with the T20, the final venue, which it's strange to see, and it does add uncertainty to a tournament. For example, with the T20 World Cup early next year being in India, the final is scheduled to be in Ahmedabad, but if, for example, Pakistan make the final, then that will then shift to Colombo. It must be very strange. And, they always kind of the same happened, with the Champions Trophy, which, as you were alluding to, Rohit, so rightly, is that actually people remember it as a Dubai tournament because that's where we won it, but the tournament hosts were actually Pakistan, and it's quite strange. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. I feel, this has happened a number of times in the past, but I feel like this time, it is quite unprecedented actually, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see. There is potential, for this game, for kind of the torch paper to be lit and this to be a very fiery encounter, and it wouldn't surprise me if that does happen. It could be very energy filled and, quite an emotional game actually. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. But look, Pakistan are always a fantastic outfit. You never know what you're quite going to get, but when it's the big game, they do have that element of surprise, and they do love to kind of punch above their weight, particularly when they're facing India. So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game, and I think the game will kind of be won and lost with India's batsmen against Pakistan's bowlers.
It's always this case, isn't it? India's
Mm.
batsmen versus Pakistan bowlers. But I think India's bowling is quite good as well. We can't say India's bowling is not good. India's bowling is pretty good. I'm just wary of the newcomers. Pakistan. It's not the same team what I've seen. On their squad list. So their new faces, probably unknown to Indian bowlers and Indian management. Let's see how that pans out. And then Saim Ayub as well. He's a good batter, like Abhishek Sharma. He's young, he's fiery, he's quite quick as well. So let's see how that pans out as well. So I think
it's two new generations.
New generation, isn't it?
Abhishek Sharma, who he's fearless.
Exactly.
I mean, Wasim Akram on commentary today was like 6 and a 4 the first ball. For a legend like Wasim Akram to say, I've never seen anything like this. He's so fearless, and I can't talk about that opening partnership without giving a special shout out to Yuvraj Singh, who's nurtured both Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill. They both lived with him, they both lived with Yuvraj Singh. He took them under their wing. If they were up past 9 o'clock, he was like, you need to get yourself to sleep. Don't know why you're awake. I think we're reaping the rewards of Yuvraj Singh's kind of talent management there.
Yeah.
Dheeraj, he's probably done that because he wants to hit the town himself. He doesn't want to go partying. So, Rohit, can I ask you a question about the kind of the India Pakistan kind of history? Obviously, kind of Dheeraj, we're kind of born and bred in England, but you were born in Ludhiana in Punjab, and your formative years were in Punjab. You came to England kind of in your early 20s. So on your perspective, kind of we're all Indians, but as an Indian who was born in India, how does the kind of what happens during the game in India? Because what's the kind of atmosphere like brewing? Kind of, obviously it's very different now because because social media, etc. But during your time, what was it like then?
My time, the roads were shut. There was no one on the road. It's like curfew, right? Everyone is hooked on the TVs. But I've seen like even Pakistan tour in 80s, there was quite friendly atmosphere then between the teams there. You can see those anecdotes for Wasim shares and Gavaskar shares, how they used to stay in the same hotel. They played Holi together in Mumbai or wherever when Pakistan were touring. So that game, so they pushed Maninder Singh into the pool or something. All those anecdotes, they're brilliant. But as a fan wise, it was proper, like, yes, that's the game we need to win. That's the game. I still remember that Miandad 6, he scored against Chetan Sharma, the last ball of at Sharjah. I still remember that, and since then, I think that before that, India was pretty good against Pakistan. After that, it kind of dipped down, maybe because of the new players came in, there was better players in Pakistan then, but it's kind of reversed now. Indians are now have upper hand, but I think if you see the rivalry, it's like, you can say like England versus Germany, or England versus Scotland, or England versus Argentina.
For me, it's the
proper
biggest.
rivalry. This is the
These
biggest
two
one.
teams, they
It is
don't
the biggest
talk.
one.
We'll have a Liverpool, Man United, an Arsenal, Tottenham,
That's
Arsenal,
nothing.
Man United
That's nothing.
under Wenger, in
That's nothing.
Fergie. We'd have that every
El
year.
Clasico.
This is
But that's
this
nothing,
is,
guys. Trust me, that's nothing.
nothing compared to these.
Nothing
This is the
compares to
biggest for
this.
me,
Biggest.
and I am biased, but it's biggest rivalry in sport.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing you hit on there, Roy, which I hope is the case, though, despite the political tensions, which for the layperson like us, it's beyond our control. A lot of these decisions have been taken at kind of a ministerial level. I hope one of the great things about sport is it has the ability to unite. So I hope that the fractions or tensions between the two nations, that this cricket match is able to kind of somehow, for the love of the game, just unite, even if it's only for the 4 hours or so, just kind of unite the two nations. And it's a nice friendly atmosphere on the pitch, and there's nice friendly rivalry. So of the fans, in the stand, and there's nice friendly rivalry on the pitch. But that no one crosses the line. That's what I hope anyway.
Yeah, let's see. But I want to say, but I can't say on this platform, but I have different view on that, so, but it is what it is, they are obliged to play the game. They have to play the game, the obligations, as international tournament. It's not like local tournament, or it's not a series which they can say don't want to play. It's international tournament, and a lot of things happens behind the scenes, so we can't comment. We don't know what's happening, but obviously what happened, that's pretty sad. And then there has to be a line somewhere, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't want to go into it because it's not the right platform for us to talk about those things. But so guys, let's move on. So India versus Pakistan, big game on Sunday. Who are you rooting for? Shouldn't be asking, but I want to ask, guys. Is it a very close game? 50-50 you reckon? Or you think India will win or Pakistan will win? What do you think, Dheeraj?
I'm always in this game gonna go India, and even we could be literally 9 out. I'm still gonna back India for the win. I do think. I think you made a great point, Roy. Pakistan are coming into this. They've got a little bit of form. They've played a few games. India are a little bit undercooked, and that is my only worry. India could well play Pakistan later on in the tournament, and then I'd be probably slightly more comfortable and say, right, although Pakistan in the final is a dangerous opposition as well. But I think, my only concern with India is they're slightly undercooked. Tilak Burma has not gone to the middle. A number of the batsmen have not gone to the middle. Bumrah's not bowled 4 overs. He's not bowled 4 overs in an actual proper game for literally probably 6 weeks now. So, he's undercooked, and that's our premier bowler. So, although there's a lot of positives, my only concern, I think India's biggest worry and India's biggest opponent is not the opposition. Without, with no disrespect to them, India can beat any team on the day. It's probably their own preparation, and that's my only concern.
Amit?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it should be an easy Indian win. I mean, there's no such thing as an easy game, in sport, and obviously with this, it's a derby that we've just talked about. So, I'd expect it to be closer than probably the paper, as in on the team sheets on the paper suggest. And as you said, Roy, there's probably a few surprises. The Pakistan team have got their sleeve in terms of new faces to the team, which may not be well known, but you'd hope that the coaching and the so the research, opposition research from the Indian team will know about these potential surprises. But again, we're not close to the ground in terms of how the preparation is like. But yeah, India win for me.
Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going for India win as well. Hopefully win. But for me, winning the Asia Cup is most priority. I don't care about this game. I want India to win the Asia Cup again. Right. So India has won 7 Asia Cups before. Pakistan only won 2. It's very surprising, actually, that Pakistan only won 2 Asia Cups in their history. And Sri Lanka won more than Pakistan.
Yeah.
It's quite surprising for me when I saw the record. I thought that's looking at the teams Pakistan had, in Asia Cups and previously. So yeah, let's hope. But let's hope for India win this Sunday and for the final as well.
So saying that, Rohit, and I think I mentioned this before in a previous kind of our review of the tournament, sorry. But isn't there like a stat that whoever wins or if India's won the Asia Cup, they don't tend to perform very well in the following tournament. I'm sure there's some.
Is it? Oh,
I'm sure there's.
okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's some stat
Yeah.
I think So I mean, again, listeners, if
but-
we're talking a load of rubbish, please go, add your comments in. But I'm sure there is a stat
Really?
So I'm not quite sure. Me being superstitious, I know we shouldn't be superstitious. I think I'll probably would rather win India defend the T20 World Cup next February than win this one. But
Yeah.
obviously we'd like to win everything, but you can't always win everything in sport, can you?
Yeah, we can't. But India, when India won the Asia Cup last time in Sri Lanka, if you guys remember, we bottled out Sri Lanka for like 50 or something in the finals, and then India went into the finals. India played pretty well in the next World Cup after. So obviously we didn't win it, but we performed very, very well.
There you go.
Yeah. No, but we didn't win it. But we performed. Yeah. So you can't win every tournament. But let's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope.
But we want to win every tournament, don't we?
Yeah, we want, obviously. That's how we are, right, fans? We want to win every game. Okay, guys. This ends our 2 halves, 2 innings cricket podcast today. We reviewed our India versus UAE game, and we previewed India versus Pakistan game, big game on Sunday. Let's hope India wins the toss again and India wins the game again. Jai Hind.
Come on, India.
Come on, India.